module, we are going to see about what are hooks and why we use hooks. What are hooks in React? Hooks are special functions in React that let you hook into React features like state, lifecycle, context inside a functional components. Before hooks, these React features were only exclusive for class components. Hooks made it possible to write fully featured React app with just functions. Why we use hooks? We use hooks in React to add extra features like state and side effects to functional components without using classes. In simple words, we can say hooks give functional components power like memory, which is nothing but our state, and reacting to the changes happening in the memory, which is nothing but side effects. Use state is used for add state to functional components. State means a piece of data that your component keeps tracks of and can change over time. Use effect helps to run code on lifecycle events, runs side effects like API calls, timers, DOM updates, etc. Hooks also helps to reuse logic easily through custom hooks. This also helps to avoid class components and make code shorter and cleaner. Let's see an example for hooks. Let me open the VS Code. Inside this app.jsx file, I'm going to import React. After React, we are giving comma. After that, I am going to import useState and useEffect, which is nothing but our default hooks from our React library from React. After that, I'm going to create a function called app. Inside this app function, I'm going to create a useState. For that, I'm going to type const to give square bracket. Inside the square bracket, I am giving two arguments. One is a state variable, another one is a function. Whenever we create a useState variable, whenever we create a useState hook, we need to give two arguments. One is the state variable and another one is a function. After that, I'm going to type useState. Inside this useState, we need to give our initial value. In this case, I am going to give 0 because our count starts from 0. After that, I am going to create use effect. This is nothing but another hook from our React library. After that, inside this hook, I am going to create an arrow function. And after this arrow function, I am going to give an dependency. That is nothing but our empty square bracket. We can call it as an array or dependencies. This is the syntax of use effect. Inside this arrow function, I'm going to type console.log and we are going to give this symbol. We can see this symbol above the tab button in our keyboard. So then I'm going to type count changed to we are going to give dollar symbol. Whenever we create any variable inside our JavaScript, we need to give dollar symbol with curly brackets. After that, I am going to give that state variable. That is nothing but our count. After that, I am going to give count in our dependency. It is used whenever the count changes. Whenever the count changes. After that, I'm going to return the function. That is nothing but our app function. I need to return that function. Inside this return function, I'm going to create a div, which is nothing but HTML like syntax. Inside this div function, I'm going to create an h1 tag. After that, I'm going to type inside this h1 tag, I'm going to type count colon. I'm going to give curly brackets, which is nothing but our need to showcase our state variable, which is in 0, which is now in the 0 state. So in terminal, let's see the result. Let's type npm run dev. Let's go to this link. Nothing is visible because we are not exporting this app function. So we need to export this app function. So for that, we are going to type export default app. Now let's see. We refresh this page. We can see count colon. 0. Okay. After this h1 tag, I'm going to type button tag. Inside this button tag, I'm going to have increase button, the name of increase. Inside this button tag, I'm going to type an attribute called on click, which is nothing but act like an add event listener. It changes whenever we click that button, it changes the state. Inside this on click button, I'm going to give an arrow function, and I'm going to type set count. Set count is nothing but our use state function. Set this after the set count, I'm going to type count plus 1. We can also style this because I have already installed tailwind.css, so we can style this element using class name. Sorry, class name. Inside this class name, I'm going to type test. We need to align this test in sender, so I'm going to type text sender. Now let's see the browser. So the test become sender, comes to the sender. After that, I'm going to type py 20, which is nothing but padding vertical. So first it comes to the center. After that, I'm going to give class name. Inside this h1 tag, I'm going to style this font, just nothing but I am going to give bold. After that, I'm going to increase the text size as 2x. After that, I'm going to also style this button using class name attribute. Inside this class name attribute, I'm going to type background color slide 400. Need to shape that button so that we are using rounded LG. After that, we are going to give py, which is nothing but padding vertical. Py 4 and correct. We can give ph4 and py 2. After that, I am going to give hover also, which is changes whenever we click whenever we place our mouse, the color changes. So this inside this hover, I'm going to give. Let's go back to browser. See how button changes. So whenever we click the button, the state changes. This is how we use hooks in our React based projects. That's it.